Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
The Stock Movers Report, your roundup of companies making moves in the stock market, harnessing the power of Bloomberg data.
Well, let's take a look at some stocks on the move today. In Europe, I'm Stephen Carroll and I'm joined by Bloomberg reporter Chloe Mele. Chloe, good morning.
Good morning.
Let's start then with Fresnillo, the gold and silver miner being hit by the precious metal sell-off.
Yeah, absolutely. We got used to seeing miners in the green for the last few weeks, but now there's quite a dramatic reversal. And we are seeing those miners down kind of across the board this morning. And as you mentioned, Fresnillo, the gold and silver miner, but we're also seeing Endeavour Mining, Glencore, Anglo American, all down this morning. And that is because copper, gold, silver prices are all falling, reversing the massive rally that we had seen at the beginning of the year. And the sell-off really started on Friday when Trump named Kevin Warsh as the next Fed chair, and this was seen as quite a hawkish pick, and that boosted the dollar and then led those commodity prices lower to really tumble from their record highs. And that is because Warsh getting the job essentially raises expectations of a tighter monetary policy, and that is not necessarily favorable to commodities. And for example, gold, it saw the biggest plunge in more than a decade on Friday. So a really massive sell-off that continues today, and that is having an impact on miners, of course. And this Fed pick was really the trigger, but then the volatility of the market in the run-up to that made extreme moves in prices very likely, and then it did end up happening. And now the direction of the market from here will really be determined by whether Chinese investors buy the dip or not. So that will be really going to be the focus now. But in the meantime, we are seeing those miners in the red.
Yeah, indeed. Fresnillo currently down by 5.9%. In the opposite direction, though, we've got Pandora shares up 8.3% in Copenhagen this morning. A big jump for the jeweller.
Yeah, so for every loser, there is a winner. And the fact that silver prices are down, it's actually great news for a company like Pandora, which of course makes jewelry. The price of silver was actually a big concern before this massive sell-off. And on Friday, we even saw Pandora being downgraded by SEB analysts because of that, with the analysts saying that the company was really taking a beating from the really high silver prices and then also the slowdown in the US market. But then shares actually rose on Friday because that downgrade was actually overshadowed by the massive sell-off in precious metals, and that is continuing today. And we're seeing Pandora shares really strong this morning because of that silver sell-off, and that puts Pandora in quite good shape ahead of results later this week. Of course, the numbers may still be a little bit muted. We had preliminary numbers that indicated that sales growth was perhaps missing the guidance range, but the outlook might get a little brighter, at least for now, because of those lower silver prices.
Chloe, one of my favourite parts of this segment is where we get to talk about companies that we don't talk about very often. This morning, it's Auction Technology, down 8.7%. They, according to the DES function on the terminal, operate an online curated marketplaces and proprietary auction platform technology. Why are their shares down?
Yeah, so it's an auction marketplace that essentially connects bidders, collectors, businesses. And it fell this morning because FitzWalter Capital said that it will not make another bid for the firm after its offer was rejected last week. So this all started earlier this year when Auction Technology saying that it had rejected 11 unsolicited proposals from FitzWalter Capital and had rejected the latest offer because it fundamentally undervalued the company. And then FitzWalter was then considering another offer, an improved one, and then Auction Technology rejected that one too, saying that it still undervalues the company. And so now FitzWalter is walking away completely, and we're seeing investors be quite disappointed with that, and the shares falling very sharply for Auction Technology today.
The Stock Movers Report from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.